Just for the record, this is H.R. 3590, a healthcare bill that was actually signed into law. You will notice that it is 906 pages long. Again, just for the record, note the search results when we search this document for the word microchip. Implantable. RFID. Class 2 device. Oh, now we get one hit, under the heading of imposition of annual fee on medical devices. Now that we're on the doorstep of March 23rd, why do I say there will be no mandatory microchip in 2013? Well, I'd like to show you how statements which are misrepresented can work their way into being substituted for facts. So let's take a look at them. First, these hitherto mentioned phrases are found in various parts of the original H.R. 3200, America's Affordable Health Choices Act of 2009. It is important to keep in mind that this bill passed in Congress, but died before it reached the Senate floor. Therefore, it and any language in it is obsolete. H.R. 3200 was introduced in July of 2009. A month later, an article written by Chuck Norris appears on this site. While offering harsh criticism of the Obamacare bill, there is no mention of microchips or mandatory implants. The criticism is specifically towards the child care aspects of the bill. But notice the interesting wording at the end of the fourth paragraph. Now, on August 30th, 2009, a posting appears on a website called the Daily Paw, submitted by someone named Celeste. This piece contained all the wording that we're familiar with, based entirely on the so-called hidden language within the healthcare bill. Mandatory implants of RFID chips, controlling who is and who isn't allowed medical care, etc. A similar article appeared on Resisting the New World Order shortly after, quoting the same snipped phrases from the bill. Contrast this with the Chuck Norris piece, which addresses specific issues on specific topics within the bill. The writer or writers of these latter articles seem to be interested only in the use of cherry-picked phrases and suggestive statements that uses language from a bill that would never even make it to the Senate. But this is where it gets even darker. We find another article using the same buzz phrases taken from the original obsolete bill. But this time, right here, it clearly gets attributed to Congressman Ron Paul. Here's the link to the article. When you click the link, it brings you to the dailypaul.com website. And there it is, the same words, the same article, not written by Ron Paul. If you need more proof on this false attribution, all one needs to do is to look at the dailypaul.com disclaimer, which clearly states no affiliation to Ron Paul or any of their affiliated organizations. Comments represent the opinions of the poster and are not endorsed, approved, or otherwise representative of the opinions of Ron Paul. In May of 2011, Before It's News is guilty of the same stunt. Once we discover the origins of something that has been so massively misrepresented and offered up as though it were from an authoritative source, it is no wonder that it begins to disprove itself by its own timetable. Many of the parties that are responsible for videos and blogs suggesting the March 2013 implant date have now moved on to the year 2017. Have they exposed information from a newly leaked government document? Or unearthed legal language hidden in congressional doublespeak? No. They rely solely on a nightly news report speculative opinion piece that was aired in 2007. But what I do know is that if one isn't properly informed, then how will you know what is really going on?